In the silence between your thoughts, I have walked beside you, unseen yet ever present. Through every storm you've endured, every quiet ache you've carried, I've whispered strength into your spirit. You were never alone, not even for a moment. The path ahead holds more than you imagine. Within the next 72 hours, the thread of destiny begins to weave a meeting long written in the heavens. A love shaped by divine timing, one that speaks directly to your soul. Not rushed, not random, but guided by the hand of something greater. Type "My heart is open to the love I prayed for." Open your heart, not to hope alone, but to truth. The time moves swiftly, and with it, something sacred draws near. What approaches is not just love, it is recognition. A soul meant to echo your own. And when it comes, you will know. Not because of signs, but because your spirit will remember. You have been guided here for a reason. The celestial messengers do not speak in vain. Listen now, not with your ears, but with your essence. What comes is real, and it is closer than you think. There are moments when the divine does not speak in thunder, but in quiet alignments, in paths that cross as if by chance, yet carry the weight of eternity. Your soul has already begun to resonate with a presence that approaches, silent, yet destined. This encounter is not a mere passing glance. It is a sacred recognition written long before your first breath. Type "I receive this love with a grateful heart." In realms unseen, threads are being drawn together. The space between hearts is narrowing, and what once seemed distant now moves toward you with unwavering certainty. Not every love is sent from above, but this one bears the fingerprint of the eternal. It calls not to the surface, but to the deepest parts of who you are. Even now, signs gently unfold around you. A name that repeats without reason, a dream that lingers past dawn, the sudden warmth that rises in your chest when nothing in your day should provoke it. These are not random, they are traces of a connection preparing to manifest in the physical world. The sacred clock does not delay. The divine works with precision, and you are being led, moment by moment, closer to an encounter that will reveal not just love but remembrance. A soul you once walked with, in lifetimes beyond the reach of memory, returns to your path. Type "I trust that love is finding me now." Let your spirit remain open. Let your heart be still enough to hear what words cannot speak. For what approaches does not demand, it harmonizes. There will be no confusion, only clarity born from something far older than time. And though it may come quietly, it will leave nothing unchanged. There was once a soul, much like yours, walking through life with quiet questions tucked beneath every breath. They had endured, waited, grown. Not through grand declarations, but through silent acts of trust. Trust in the unseen, in the divine rhythm that governs all things. The days were ordinary, the moments soft and unnoticed. Until, without warning, the extraordinary arrived. It did not announce itself. There were no fireworks, no voices from above. Just a simple encounter. Eyes meeting across a quiet space, a conversation that flowed as if continued from another lifetime. There was peace in that moment, not excitement. A serenity that spoke of home. They didn't understand it fully then, but something ancient had been awakened. Type "I trust God's timing for my love story." That is how the sacred works. Not with drama, but with undeniable alignment. The kind that speaks directly to your soul, not your thoughts. A meeting that doesn't ask for explanation, only presence. That other soul, they had no map, no clear direction. but every step they took had been divinely woven to lead them there, to that moment, to that connection. Now, their life holds a different light. Not perfect, but fuller, more true. And not because someone came to complete them, but because something divine allowed recognition. Love was not a rescue, but a return. A return to something they never knew they'd lost. Say, love finds me when I'm ready, and I am ready. You too are walking towards such a moment. Not because you must, but because it was always written. The sacred moves with grace, not haste. And while the world around you races, the divine works in silence, bringing together what was always meant to be. What awaits you is not merely a meeting, it is a sacred unveiling. In the quiet unfolding of the next few days, time will conspire with the divine to place you exactly where you are meant to be. And there, within the seemingly ordinary, something extraordinary will rise. It may come through a glance held just a second too long, a conversation that pierces through layers with surprising ease, or even through a silence that feels oddly complete. This destined connection carries more than affection. It brings clarity, as if a forgotten part of you is finally returned. Not loud, but unmistakable. It will not confuse your heart, it will steady it. You may find yourself remembering emotions you never had words for, sensing an ancient familiarity in someone you've only just met. This is not fantasy. It is the work of the divine made real through grace and perfect timing. Comment, I choose faith over fear in love. There may be signs gentle, undeniable. You may notice moments aligning in uncanny ways, words echoing what lives deep within you, the right place and time folding in on themselves with elegance. Don't chase it. The path is already shaped beneath your feet. You need only walk it with openness, with presence. This connection may not arrive with grand gestures. It may begin with something small, a moment you could easily overlook if your heart were not listening. But the impact will be lasting. It will ripple through your inner world, changing how you see, how you love, and most of all, how you trust in what has always been guiding you. Comment, I'm entering a season of answered prayers. You are not waiting, you are arriving. Every breath brings you closer. And what is coming was never late. It is divinely on time. With every divine encounter comes the quiet echo of transformation. Love, when destined, does not enter gently only to soothe, it comes to awaken. It holds a mirror to parts of yourself long buried beneath layers of doubt, fear, and forgotten hope. It may challenge the version of you that learned to survive without it. The version that grew used to longing without answer, to strength without softness. This connection may call forth courage you didn't know you possessed. It may ask you to open doors you've kept sealed for years, to trust in ways that feel unfamiliar, even risky. Not because it seeks to hurt, but because the depth of what arrives must be met with equal depth within you. The divine does not send what you are not ready to hold, but readiness does not mean ease. It means willingness. You may find yourself face to face with old wounds, the kind you believed were long gone. Not to relive them, but to finally free them. The presence of another soul, aligned with yours, has a way of bringing the hidden into the light. And sometimes, light feels blinding at first. But in that brightness, healing can begin. Love, real love, will not ask you to be less. It will invite you to be whole. There may be moments of doubt, moments when your mind questions what your spirit already knows. Do not rush to label or understand. Let the experience unfold like a sacred text read slowly, lived honestly. For what comes now is not a fairy tale. It is sacred design, and like all holy things, it may shake what is untrue to reveal what is eternal. And so, if you find tears, let them come. If fear arises, welcome it as the shadow leaving the room. Because what approaches is not just another chapter, it is a divine rewriting. One where love does not arrive to complete you, but to remind you that you are always worthy of being seen, deeply and truly. To be chosen for such a moment is no accident. This kind of love, orchestrated beyond the limits of time and reason, is not offered to every soul at every hour. It arrives for those whose hearts have endured, who have walked through loneliness without losing their light. You are among them, one of the few who kept believing, even in silence, even in uncertainty. The path you've walked has not been without trials. You've known the weight of longing, the ache of unanswered prayers, the cold silence of nights where hope seemed distant. Yet still, something within you remained open. And that openness, quiet and unwavering, has been seen. Celestial messengers have witnessed every tear held back, every act of kindness unreturned, every moment where love was given freely despite the cost. This blessing is a response to your endurance. It is not a reward for perfection, but a sacred acknowledgement of your willingness to love without closing your heart. You have not been forgotten. What approaches is a gentle reminder that divine timing does not abandon those who walk by faith, even when the road is unseen. There is grace in your waiting. There is holiness in your hope. And now, the heavens prepare to return what you've long carried in silence, a connection woven through destiny, touched by divine hands. You are not just lucky. You are deeply, profoundly blessed. To receive such love is not only to be cherished by another, but to be seen by the divine itself. This is the kind of blessing that echoes across lifetimes. One that changes the texture of your days, the rhythm of your thoughts, the way you speak to your own soul. Be gentle with yourself now. This blessing does not rush. It unfolds with wisdom. And you, beloved traveler of sacred roads, are exactly where you need to be. So much has prepared you for this moment, though you may not have realized it. Every closed door, every delayed answer, every tender ache of the soul has shaped the readiness of your heart. Not for fleeting affection, but for something sacred. This love comes not to fill an emptiness, but to meet you where your spirit already stands in fullness, quietly, bravely open. What approaches is more than romance. It is recognition, a reflection of your own inner light, seen in another's gaze. The conversation will feel familiar, as though remembered rather than discovered. The energy exchanged will not demand explanation, only presence. And though the timing may surprise you, the connection will feel timeless, unforced, unmistakable, gently profound. Yet, even a destined encounter comes with invitations to remain present, to walk with awareness, to trust what unfolds without clinging to certainty. There may be moments where doubt whispers, where old fears resurface, asking if you are truly ready. And still, grace will lead. Not through answers, but through quiet clarity. Not through control, but through surrender. This unfolding may begin with a glance, or a chance meeting dressed in ordinary clothes. It may seem like coincidence, yet your soul will recognize the language. And in that sacred recognition, something long dormant will awaken, not just love, but remembrance. Of who you are, of what you deserve, of all that heaven has quietly kept in store, waiting for your heart to be strong enough to receive. Walk gently in these days. Pay attention to the subtle threads that weave through your path. Trust the peace, not the noise. And above all, remember, nothing is random in the hands of the divine. What is meant for you carries its own knowing. And soon, very soon, you will understand why the waiting had to be so long, and why the arrival feels so right.